But what went right, the defense continues to go right for the Oklahoma Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, what stood out to you about this Oklahoma Sooners defense?
First off, the crowd was fantastic.
Yep.
Because when Kendall Daniels leveled that boy,
oh mama,
the audible gasp and you felt the vibration in the stadium from that. Plus, Michigan fans were really raving about the light show and all the stuff that we do in that. Shout out to Gerald McCoy and on the video board talking about how they have the big house, but we have the palace. It was fantastic. It was a great video setup, but the defense itself was nails, John. They gave us everything that we asked for and more. We talk about why we still have belief in Brent Venables and just the fact that we're showing that we have one of, if not the best defensive line in the country. We definitely have one of in the country, and it's showing it week after week, causing problems. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are proving to everybody, no, Oklahoma's going to be an issue for you all for this season at minimum, if not going into next, because a lot of these players are coming back. We've got them for at least one more year, John. So, yeah, we're going to be terrorizing you in the trenches for a bit, and that's exactly what you saw out of this defensive line. In the linebacker room, too, gotta say, I'm impressed with how some of the rotations. We had a 4-man rotation consistently. Looked good.
Yeah, the Oklahoma 4-man rotation at linebacker with Kip Lewis, Kobe McKenzie, Samuel Masigo, and then the star of the game, maybe, in Owen Heinecke. I mean, that was awesome to see them to go out and have all 4 of those guys go out there and make plays. Owen Heinecke was the highest graded defender on Oklahoma's defense in the win. Like that. Oh. That's pretty impressive, according to Pro Football Focus. That is, yep. He just had a fantastic game. But Kip made plays, Kobe made plays, and they didn't have to overextend anybody. I mean, you look at the snap counts, and Kobe and Kip each played 36, and then Owen Heinecke played 23 snaps, and Samuel Masigo played 16. So, like, they had a really good snap distribution out of the 59 snaps. The only 2 players that played all 59 were Cortland Guillory and Peyton Bowen. So they were rotating a lot of bodies, and what they did at linebacker, it was really exciting to see, because I think we were excited about Kobe and Kip, and Sammy, but we weren't sure just what that linebacker depth was going to look like. Owen Heinecke stepping up and showing out in a big game like this. I guess those Ohio boys really do not like Michigan, whether they're playing for Ohio State or not. They really don't like Michigan.
They really hate their guts. And I mean, even to that point, just the fact that Brent Venables has a rotation of 4 linebackers like that, and they trust them to play, and they make them get out there. Because, I mean, that was the thing to me, how you saw, like for Kobe McKenzie, how I was prepared for him in this season is you saw him come in for Danny Stutzman, and he took some pretty important snaps. And so you're like, okay, you're in some critical moments of the game. What's going on? Oh, okay. You're not only trusted, but you're also gaining the experience needed to prepare yourself for next year. So I think that's kind of like that feeling I have with Owen Heinecke as well as Samuel Masigo is you get lose Kip and Kobe, who can come back one more year, but if they don't, they're now veteran in that linebacker room. And then, of course, James Ness is going to come in, and you're going to start to see more, Marcus James, linebacker room kind of grow. But, man, there's a lot of experience happening in there. But Kendall Daniels was probably one of the best pickups we got. That dude leveling people is just absurd. I knew he was a huge human being. There's some still work that needs to be done in depth perception and coverage. But, dog, him at 6'4", 6'5", and just being hard to throw the ball over, unreal. But, John, we got to talk about this secondary, man. Cortland Guillory, he may have locked down that other corner spot.
He's got
targets. Yeah. 8 targets, 1 reception.
You've got to start the guy. I I don't care when Eli Bowen's back or when Kendall Dolby's back. You've got to keep rolling Cortland Guillory out there. He's showed up. He's performed. He's been unafraid of the moment. He's been physical with these bigger receivers. I remember we talked about Donovan McCulley last offseason during the transfer portal window as an Oklahoma wide receiver target. That was somebody that was kind of trending at one point in time, maybe toward Oklahoma, ends up landing with Michigan. That's a playmaker, man. He's a guy that can go out there and make plays. He made a play over Robert Spears-Jennings, just kind of unlucky for RSJ. But Cortland Guillory was really up to the task, and that made things really difficult on Bryce Underwood. A lot of these, throws that went through a receiver's hands, it's because Guillory was challenging them at the catch point, and they weren't able to make a play. So really excited, man. He's been as advertised. There was a lot of buzz about him coming out of fall camp, and he's lived up to the billing. It's super exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, you're right. That's the best part about this is that the hype that we've heard about some players, Taylor Wine, the hype we were hearing in practice and about him, it's living up to expectation. He looks really good out there at the edge, a combination of him. PJ Adebaware got a lot of snaps. Like they've been dividing up that defensive line snap number very well. It's like an average of what you're seeing, like 22, 23. It's like they're mixing it up to making sure everybody gets a good amount of snaps. Like I think PJ had what 14, 17, something like
19
that.
According to Pro Football Focus.
There you go. He had about 19 according to them. So it's just fascinating to see that, yeah, we can play 2 deep at the edge. You can play 2, 3 deep on the interior and still be good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, is once you start digging deep into that bag, you get a little concerned because you're going so far. Nah, man, they're giving you that. But Cortland Guillory goes out there at corner. Gentry Williams comes out with the injury. I think he has like a strained groin. I'm not sure what the timetable is on that. Waiting to hear that from BV. Probably on Tuesday, we may get some sort of an update before Temple. But Devon Jordan looked really good out there in backup, right? So it's like you've just got a long list of dudes that are ready to play. Now you're just ready to see Kendall Doby. You're ready to see if Giovanni Gibson's coming back, in which you saw Giovanni out there in full pads, making catches, doing all kinds of stuff, looking like he's about ready to go. So cross your fingers and toes. He gets his first set of games against Temple. But yeah, overall, man, John, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is looking really, really good, and I think they can continue to get better. This is a group that hasn't had a lot of sack numbers yet, but they have put on, a lot of pressure. I mean, Bryce Underwood was under pressure 14 times in this game. Grayson Halton had 3 pressures. Jaden Jackson looked really, really good from the interior again. Remember, this is a good Michigan offensive line, and a Michigan offensive line that's characterized by its strength and physicality. And Jaden Gibson basically just threw a guy into the backfield and went and got a half a sack, combining with Samuel Masigo. Like, this defense is proving they're going to be ready and more than capable of playing winning football when they get into SEC play.
Yeah, exactly. You into SEC play, man. It's going to be fun. Again, I was told that John Mateer would not do this in SEC play. So we'll see if that happens. I was also told that this defense would not possibly be as good as it was last year. It's okay. We just flipped it. We're going to give you one big run play every game, and then we're going to keep you from running any time else throughout the entire game, which I am totally fine with. If you break off one big one, but we're able to shut you down the rest of the game, run defense has done its job, because then that means you can't pass on us. And so far, ain't nobody been able to pass on us.
And what I love about what has happened with this team is you might get a play, but the Oklahoma defense responds. They bounce back and they maybe force a 3 and out on the next drive, or you might get a big chunk play in the passing game, but that's all you're going to get. You're going to have to kick a field goal or punt the ball away after that. They're not allowing plays to stack on top of themselves to where, okay, maybe you get the big Justice Haynes run for 75 yards and a touchdown, but then after that, you're not getting much of anything else. It seemed like Michigan was trying to get a little bit of momentum, but after that touchdown for Michigan, it was 3 and out, 3 plays minus 2 yards punt, 3 plays minus 6 yards punt, and then 4 plays, 8 yards field goal. and then an 8 play drive for 60 yards and a field goal. Like they didn't give up much of anything after that. So like they responded, and they responded well, whether it was after a turnover, the interception by John Mateer, the muffed punt by Isaiah Satania, or after the 75-yard touchdown run. The Oklahoma Sooners defense, they rose to the challenge and they said, nope, done. You're done. That's it. That's all you get. Love that.
We rose to the occasion. We did what we were supposed to do. I'm just happy that they finished and did exactly what we said was going to happen in this game. They did exactly what we said. Brent Venables was going to have Bryce Underwood in a blender, have his brain just fried, trying to figure out getting through that. Chip Lindsey's going to cut back on the offense and really go simple. They threw a lot of screen passes. You could tell that their goal was to get the ball out of his hands and run the ball as much as possible in space.
Yeah, that was very much a part of the game plan in the first half. And then Kendall Daniels nearly destroyed Justice Haynes. And then on the very next play, they tried to run the same thing to the other side, and he dropped the pass, or the player dropped the pass. And then I don't remember them running many screens after that, if they ever did. It's like
they ran some short ones. Like they were trying to find ways to get rid of the ball. It was bad.
Right. But I don't think they were trying to run that tunnel anymore, or that bubble.
Oh, no. The tunnel screen, no.
Destroyed it in the first half. They're like, okay, just throw that, just tear that out of the playbook and go get rid of it because we got to find something else. But it was a game where Oklahoma just took control of it early with that first touchdown drive, and then pretty much had control the rest of the game. I was talking to somebody about it. They never felt out of control in this one. Even when Michigan kind of started getting a few things going, you'd never felt like they were really in the game. And that's, to me, the testament of a good team. How did it impact recruiting? Because Oklahoma had a big recruiting weekend. We'll discuss that coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.